Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. I'm the West Virginia woman, Robin, of RobinHolstein.com and Holstein House, where my guests get a great night's sleep at a fair rate plus breakfast. This is a podcast that looks at society and culture issues affecting families in West Virginia and the United States, from food preparation and storage, gardening, home repairs, current events, and more. We'll go around the table and back in 60 minutes or less. So let's hang out and talk a while. Good morning, all y'all. How are you today? I'm in a pretty good mood. I'll share some music with you here in a little bit that just came to my mind, and I happened to find it. You used to be able to post all kinds of stuff to YouTube, and then you could post the YouTubes over to Facebook, and then all that, they all started getting snotty about it. And I get it. The creators, the musicians and stuff, they want to cut because it's their talent. But it kind of hurt everything, I think, because you can't. I mean, if you want to limit it to, I think YouTube restricts you down to like 30 seconds or something. But I'm going to share some with you here in a minute. But before I get too far off track, I am Robin Holstein, and this is the Holstein House broadcast. I almost tripped on my tongue on that one. Today is Tuesday, September the 19th, 2023, and this is episode 99 of the Holstein House broadcast, live, answering questions on hosting a B&B from your home, fall and winter pantry food preparation, storage, and more. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about QuickCamp, some guest special requests that just keep coming, a hayride cart that's under construction, the end of the growing season, the young drakes. I didn't hatch them. The mama duck hatched some eggs this year, and there's some interesting stuff going on. Some stuff going on at the church, and more. And I want to share with you I'm going to try to keep it under 30 seconds because I don't want to it's not like YouTube pays attention to me, but their automated algorithm stuff might catch it. The computer age that we live in, it's just a little piece of music. It's I shouldn't say I'm excited about it, but it really lifted my mood. I wasn't in a bad mood anyway, but it really lifted my mood. So whenever you stop by, whether it's in the live chat or the live feed or the replay, please let me know you're there. Put a comment in the live chat or put a comment in the comment box down below, and just say, hey, I stopped by and saw the show. I'm going to get this allergy season stuff going on here again. So let's talk about Holstein House and things going on around Holstein House. This is where we talk about things going on with the bed and breakfast and reservations and stuff related to hosting a B&B from your home or from your property. We have a promotional code for those of you who see this broadcast. It is BROAD 5, BROAD 5, the number 5, and it'll get you 5% off your direct book stay here at Holstein House. Just go to RobinHolstein.com and look for Holstein House in the menu. It's up in the corner, and click the Holstein House, and it'll take you to the direct book page where you can check on availability. And then when you book, you enter BROAD 5 in the promotional code section, and you'll get 5% off your stay. I do have an update on, I hope I'm not. Anyway, I've had too much caffeine, I think, this morning. QuickCamp, we are going to have 3 spaces for tent camping here at Holstein House. It's not fancy at all. It's just a little place to stop for one maximum of 2 nights in a row. No long terms because we're not a campground, but just a quick stop as you're traveling through the area. It's just a little area I'm going to, designate and set aside for small 2-person tent, not like, 6 or 8 people to party. It's just a place to stop. And we may offer a fire pit when the outdoor burning season permits it. But I did get a good portion of the area around the doghouse, and this kind of intertwines a couple things. A good sized area around the doghouse cleaned up from the roofing activities, and and I got some of that stuff around on the outside. I got to tackle the inside. And I did set up the toileting, and let me show that to you if I can get to it. I got that song in my head, and it's killing me. It's killing me dead. I'm out of my head. Wait a minute. Where did it go? It should be. It should be. Ah, there it is. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. All right. So let me full screen that. So I know it's not sexy, okay? It's a toilet. It's a toilet in the let me get to it. It's a toilet with a bucket toilet. It does have the little seat. I had the pool noodle on there because I couldn't find the seat, and I knew I'd ordered it. I knew I had it, and I knew I had the bags and stuff. So it's just a simple toilet in a pop-up because we're not a campground, okay? And a hand washing station. So, everybody knows how to use a toilet. You would take care of business here. I'll have another bucket for something for some horse bedding, pine pellet kind of things over here, so that when you get finished, you can play kitten and cover your contribution. Use a scoop when you poop. But and then the hand washing station. This is where you put the water. This is a foot pump. It pumps water up into. Oh darn it! Which direction do I go? There we go. So you foot pump here. It pumps the water up to this little tiny spigot. You rinse your hands off. There's another pump. You can't. I don't think you can make it out. Okay, so I don't have it good in the picture. This is the it'll be liquid soap that you pump out for your hands, and I don't have the shot right to get the spigot. The spigot goes up and comes down. This will be for paper towels. Toilet paper probably be down here, but and then this is for the other bucket here is for the dirty water, for the gray water. I mean, it's just a toilet. But the thing about it is, yeah, I don't have a good shot of that. The thing about it is if you're in the middle of the night, you got to go. So I did set that up so that I could get that picture and show you what I had in mind. Let's see. Did I go this way? No, that was a radar. That's not right. There we go. This is the area of the yard that the tents would be, probably with the backs facing the house. So you're going to be right in here. That's where the roofers put that metal roofing down here and killed the grass, but that's neither here nor there. So it's going to be right through here. And then you can stay for a night or two at the most outside. I know it's not all that, but we will have that. If you are a delinquent, I have a special code for you that will substantially reduce the amount of your stay. You just need to reach out to me on Telegram. If you're a delinquent, and if you're a delinquent, you know you're a delinquent. I talked to Two-Man Tim about that here a while back. I said, if you've got people, and if you're going to Self-Reliance Festival, and you're cutting through West Virginia, or you'd like to go to Self-Reliance Festival, and you're cutting through West Virginia, and you need a place to stop. I'm about 6 hours away from, I have a map for that, but I don't have it handy. Excuse me. I'm about 6 hours away. So you could, we do have the room, the guest room. We do have the tent camping now. So if you're going down to help Tim on the day that, because he's got a group that's meeting him before Self-Reliance Festival to work on his property. If you're going down there and you need a spot to stop on the way, or if you wanted to go down there but thought I don't have a place to stay, I need to work that out. I'd come down, but yeah, because I think you're going to be tent camping at his place anyway. You can why is that not right? Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me. There it goes. Okay. I thought maybe Rumble was acting up. I didn't. Rumble was just rolling that introduction. They require you to have. So when you're watching Rumble, they require a 30-second or up to a minute video before a live stream. That's why you get that thing, because that's the only thing I've got recorded for it. But it looked like it wasn't working. I had to refresh the page. But anyway, so that's the facility for the quick camp. I mean, I know it's not sexy. It's not meant to be sexy. It's a spot to stop on your way. Because sometimes if you're tent camping, you don't want to drive in West Virginia to get to one of the campgrounds. You got to go a long way off the interstate. I mean, you can stay in a hotel, but why? Come stay with us. That's probably somebody else's. Isn't that somebody else's motto? Come stay with us. Oh well. Airbnb. I keep getting people asking me, can I come in? Can I it's a 3.5 hour drive. Can't I come later? Because our registration window is from 3 to 6. There's a reason it's from 3 to 6. And I do get frustrated, and I'm sure other people. Betty, credit. The dog's down here. But if you host, one of the things that we have to deal with when you host guests, whether it's in your home, in a tent in your yard, or if you have a little tiny house, or if you have a place somewhere else, is that not everyone, but lots of people want special accommodations. And I'm not meaning, because of a physical issue or anything like that. I mean, everybody wants an exception. And, there are sometimes I will make an exception, but I really, just about every time I've made an exception, I just got messed over. The person asking for the exception, comes in with an attitude almost always. And I know it's a broad brush, but it's my experience. So I had someone ask a couple days ago. This is Tuesday, Monday. So it was Sunday afternoon because I'd been busy upstairs cleaning and vacuuming and dusting and all that stuff. And I saw a message from Airbnb from someone and wanting to know, said, I saw, and I was thrilled that they actually paid attention to the check-in window. Your check-in window is from 3 to 6. I don't get off work until 4 o'clock. I don't remember now. It's a 3.5 hour drive. Can we check in? Can we check in at 7:30? And I thought, good Lord Almighty. You see it. I don't set your working hours. I don't set your vacation times. I have a small business. I've been running it for years now. Well, actually, I have more than one. But anyway, I have the small business hosting guests in my guest room. I have a set of parameters because I have a life. I don't run a hotel. There's no one at the desk to check you in. And, I have my window set from 3 to 6 because of our lifestyle. And it's a common inquiry, and there are those would say, well, just expand your check-in window and take people later. We get up at 4:00 in the morning. We get up at 4:00 in the morning. So if I've got people coming in at 7:00 or 8:00, they're dragging all their stuff in, they're getting in, they're settling down, the dogs are all excited, the whole house is in chaos for probably 45 minutes to an hour, that really that messes and it wouldn't be enough. Having check-in window from 3 to 7:30 wouldn't be enough because someone's always going to ask for later and later and later. And you just have to draw lines and you have to be firm about it. I looked at the calendar, the date that they had inquired about was on a Friday. And I said in my response, I have the window set that way because we get up at 4:00 in the morning. But since you're wanting to come in on a Friday, I could let you come in at 7:30. Well, they didn't book. Now, whether they didn't book because I wasn't immediately responding to them because I was working in the house. I'm not sitting there watching the phone saying, book a room, book a room, book a room. It doesn't work that way. So I was going to make that accommodation. They didn't take me up on it. So I just, and I'm not going to go in and manually change because that's what you have to do. You have to go into the program, manually change your hours. If you just wanted if you wanted to do later check-ins on the weekends, like Friday and Saturday night, then you have to manually go in and set those individual dates all the time. The chickens don't care what the clock says. The dogs don't, their bladder doesn't care what the clock says. Our routine is getting up at 4:00, which means we go to bed around 8:30. Old lady shaking her fist Biden style at nothing. So I don't know. It's just, I guess, a little bit of a gripe. People who ask for exceptions are generally difficult people. It's not always, but generally. And that's been my experience. They don't like something. There have been times when I've gone out of my way to do just absolutely perfect hosting, and I get dinged for location. Well, you picked this place. Do you not know how to look at the Google Earth and see where you're going to be staying? Don't stay here if you don't like the location. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm kind of in a mood. It's not really a bad mood. It's a pretty good mood, but this is one of the things that just drives me crazy. It's a 3.5 hour drive. I'm not telling you when to take off work. I'm sorry. I'm here if you want to, but here's the window. Now, AirBTC, I'm going to move on to it. AirBTC is is an effort to connect Airbnb types to others. I will try to bring it up here. To others who will accept Bitcoin in payment. And I registered for it and I set my account up, and I have kind of kept an eye on it, not real close. I kind of got to watch because I can get double booked. It doesn't play with free to book yet, so I wouldn't be able to so if somebody booked this Friday, but then if I didn't block the dates on AirBTC, somebody else could also book Friday. And then I would have a double booking situation. And let's see. Properties. There we go. I wanted to see the number again before I say this and find out I'm wrong. Where'd it go? Did they move it? I'm scrolling through the AirBTC website. Oh, here it is. It appears that they have 35 look participating locations around the world. It's been at 35 since a couple weeks in, and I set my account up in July. Now I know there's not a lot of people that's going to be that are on here that are going to be traveling through West Virginia. So I look at it and that number hasn't changed. I'm not hearing anything about it. I'm not getting any messages from them like, hey, there's something new. Hey, we've updated this. Hey, there's nothing like that going on. So I'm wondering if they're still functional, if they're still a thing. I mean, a lot of these new techie things fall apart easily. So I'm not seeing anything about it. I know there are a couple of people that I'm connected with that have signed up with AirBTC. I'd be really curious to know if you've gotten any response from them, if you've seen anything lately. I haven't seen anything forever from them. Forever and a day. So over the weekend, just a general miscellaneous type of category, I packed up a bunch of stuff to go to the Salvation Army. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to go through things and say, I need to get rid of this. It is for me anyway. And I know a lot of the things that I'm sending off, it's based on size. I can't fit in them anymore. I'm not going to get into the details of what size things are, but I just finally went through and said, look, you're not going to be wearing this anytime soon. Maybe you could wear it in a couple years, but it's taking up space and it's driving me crazy because as I adjust, to the size that I am, adjust my wardrobe, it just, I have no room in the closets. And it's mostly because I have these clothes that I love, but I can't wear them. And I'm choosing, I'm not trying to blame it on anything. I'm choosing not to have a massive coronary about a figurative massive coronary about my size. I have so much going on. That's not a big deal to me. I have, spoken with my physician. All of my numbers are good. I'm okay with it. And if I can get it down, fine. But I'm not going to be killing myself on programs to do that. I have noticed over my lifetime, 58 years, which I know some of you guys are probably out there a lot older than that. It takes work. It really does take work to keep your weight down and to stay physically healthy. And that means, exercise and lifting weights and doing all these things. Bravo, baby. But I'm not going to have a coronary about it. I don't eat a lot of crap, and that's why my numbers are good. My hormones are non-existent because of surgeries that I've had. So I would be fighting I would be fighting something that's not there. Like I can't to try to use hormone therapy or something. I'm starting at zero. Zero. I'm not going to put myself through that. It was hard enough having the surgery that required it. So I'm not going to have a conniption fit and starve myself and stuff to get my weight down. It'll come down or it won't. Now I can work on. I've been a stable weight for a couple years now, so I'm okay with where I'm at, and If I can get it down, I can get it down. I'm not gonna worry about it. I got so much going on. I took down the pallet fence. I had a little piece of a pallet fence that's been here since we got here because of the way the yard was made. The dogs could get out. Well, they could anyway, but I took some of those green T-posts and I tried setting the pallets over the T-posts, but what was happening is the pallets were rocking. So I fastened the T-post to the back of the pallets with these pipe clamp things. They're shaped like a C, and they got little flaps you can screw. And so I put those around the T-post and screwed them into the pallets and had the pallet. That fence has been there since right after we moved here. And it just really deteriorated in the last year. So I decided, well, I need to take it down. So I took it down yesterday. I still got to clean up after it, but I took it down yesterday and I put up that welded fence that's about like that, little pieces. I put those on those step-on temporary fencing things and put that up there. And it does look different, but I've got a mess because now I've got to get the pallets moved because it was getting late when I decided to do that. And I didn't do that until it was almost dark. And the chickens and the ducks were like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, look, fresh dirt." And they were all in my way. It was funny. But I got that done. Still have to clean it up. The hand washing station, I showed you that and the pop up for the tent campers. I got a lot of little stuff done that's been neglected. When I was scrolling through the pictures, you probably saw the jars with the coins. We've had change all over this place. Quarters, nickels, dimes, And I got sick of it. And I just decided, yep, we'll scoop them all up and we'll put them in jars because I have them. Pace salsa mix jars. So if I come across any more while I'm tidying up and stuff, I'll put them in there and then count them up and see. Mr. Holstein thinks there's $30. I think there's $30 in quarters. That's what I think. But I had a bunch in my billfold that I don't hardly carry it anymore. But I had a bunch of change in the billfold because I would. Hello, Bob. What are you doing down here? Checking to see if the back door's open. I carried a billfold or a wallet in my purse, and it had a lot of change because when I was doing a lot of notary work, I was paying meters. Well, I've got one of those apps now, Park Mobile or something like that I use when I'm downtown, so I don't need a lot of change. I like the Park Mobile app, except you can't turn it off and get your credits back. So if I pay for a couple hours and it only takes me 45 minutes to do whatever, they get to keep the rest of it. I don't get it back, but I guess you don't get it back when you pay the meter either. But it's handy. It does provide me a receipt that I can use for taxes and stuff. But I don't use it that much for work right now. I haven't done a lot of notary work. I really haven't. Bobo, what are you doing? What are you doing, Bob? Nosy boy. I've got to get back on my notary work. I just need some things to settle down. I had a long talk with, get out of here now. Go on now. Had a long talk with Dad on the phone yesterday evening, and among other things, we talked about taking down. He's got a small. It's a mobile home park, is what it's called, because of how many he has on there. And he's going to take. We're going to get them. We're going to take 3 of them down. We'll start with a little one, but I got to get it emptied. I mean, that's my big hang up. I got to get stuff emptied out of these places. And, we talked about it. I'm like, I hate to throw stuff in the dumpster that somebody else can use, but do I have time to sort? And I don't. I'm piled up with stuff all around me. I don't have time to sort all this stuff out. So we talked about, just chucking a bunch of stuff, and Mom gathered up some porcelain dolls, and Dad talked like they were really expensive. And I said, well, here's the thing about porcelain dolls. Yeah, maybe. A friend of ours, after his parents passed away, brought some porcelain dolls over to me and says, "Oh, mom really loved these dolls and did this, that, and can you sell them on eBay?" He doesn't eBay or anything. He barely Facebooks. And I tried. Nobody wants them. It's they're the kind, and I was telling Dad, they're dolls that you pay high dollar for, but nobody wants. You perceive the value of a lot of dollars, but they're not collectibles. I told him I'd come over. I don't know what day I'll do that. I guess I could do it this afternoon, but I got so much to do. But so I got to make some phone calls. But let me roll back to Dad. He needs to find out when his certificate for his mobile home park from the health department. Because they got to know. He has to have a mobile home park. I don't know if it's an authorization or certification or whatever it is. He's got to renew it every year. And I asked him, I said, when does it come due? And he didn't know the other day. Well, part of the reason he called me yesterday was to tell me he found an old statement from them and gave me a phone number. And I said, but what's the date on it? He said, well, it's old. It doesn't matter. I said, no, what's the date? And he said November something. Matter of fact, you just made me think. I can't see. I don't know where I put that little piece of paper with the number on it. I had it right here. I'll find it. It's right here somewhere under something. I thought I put it right there. Anyway, so he's got to get that renewed. So if you have more than 4, I think it was 4, 3 or 4. I want to say 4 mobile homes on a piece of property, then you have to have a mobile home park permit thing for this sewer. And of course, it's $100 a year, so they get to tell you what you can and can't do. But I've got to make calls on that. That's why I started looking around, is because it's got the phone number on it for Dad. And then we got to get that cleared out. And then he's got a friend that has a friend that can come and tear it down or tear it out of there and take it to scrap or whatever they're going to do with it. I hate to do that because it's kind of like a landmark. It's been there, geez Louise, over 50 years. And it's just an old little single person's, and it was like a camper, and they just parked it there 50 years ago. My younger son, Brian, lived in it for a little bit. Actually, I probably shouldn't have even started that conversation. Brian, that's where he committed suicide. And yeah, it's going to be hard to take it down because that's the last place he was. But it's got to go. It's got to go, and we have to move on, and we can't, wallow in stuff. See, now I'm going to, where did I put that number? Darn it. I didn't just have it. But anyway, I get off track. Sorry. I hate getting off track. So there's a lot of stuff like that going on. I got to get the clothes. The clothes are ready. Got to put them in the truck to take to the Salvation Army and go over and get that stuff from Dad and see if it's really good stuff or if it's kind of like touristy attraction kind of stuff and not worth much. If that's the case, then I'll just send it to the Salvation Army as well. But we got a lot to get rid of. The doghouse, because now I'm going to be talking about general projects that's going on. The doghouse, the roof is done. I've shared that with you. I have to start to clean out. I did clean the around the front, like I said, to set up for the QuickCamp. What I want to find is a picture of what I'm going to tell you about next. I got a hold of a little trailer. I guess that's what you call it. It's a trailer. Let me work this way. There we go. I'll figure it out one way or another. So it's just, it's no big deal. It's just a little tiny trailer. I've painted it up what I was trying to resemble was a rusted out truck, but it didn't work that way. But it's fine. I'm okay with it. I'm going to use this for a hayride for the church, and then I'm going to use it as a decorative spot for here. And I'm going to put what are they called? Darn, I've forgotten the word for it. These little clampy things right here. I almost said it. Darn it. Anyway, you put we're here. This 2x4 is down here and it's bolted on. I'm going to put. I've got 4, but I'm going to put 2, one here and one here on the inside, and I'm going to use. I don't know if I'll use a full length 2x4. What is it? 8 foot they go 2x4 by 8. I don't think I'll use a full size. I think I'll cut some off of it. Maybe make it 6 foot. But anyway, and bolt them here and one here, and then put a cross. Put a couple of these little darn it, what are they called? Pockets? Are they pockets? Let me see if I can look it up real quick. But I want to put those so that I have a crossbar between the 2x4s, and I can put a sign up that says, Holstein House or something. Let me see if I can find what the dumb name of that is. I know it. Stake pocket brackets. That's what they're called. Stake pocket brackets. So it's a bracket that has a pocket that you put the stake in. Anyway, I would make like a T or an H, a letter H kind of thing, and then hang a sign on it so that I can make it mobile so I can take it apart. I don't know if I'm making any sense there, but I know what I'm talking about. You might not, but I know. So I want, so I want in the back so that I can put, straw bales in the front of the signage thing and a couple of pumpkins and make it look cute. Or if it's spring, put flower pots in there and make it look cute. And then, but I also have a working small. It's just a 4x8. I can pull it around. It's not very heavy, but I didn't want to make it something that I could use if I need to haul stuff. It does have a light kit on it, but the guy told me it didn't work, and I know why it didn't work, because the wires are busted broke. I was taking those side rails off, and I got to looking at it. And I'm like, well, no wonder. Here, this is broke here, it's broke there. So, but that's okay. I didn't buy it for that. I'm not sure. I think the rule is here you can pull a trailer without a license plate, as long and lights, as long as it doesn't block the lights on your vehicle. I'm about to sneeze. Don't quote me on that though, because I don't know. I'll probably Mr. Holstein will say no. That's all right. The Ramsey house, nothing's changed with the Ramsey house. I'm still working. I got to get it emptied too, so that we can get it tore down and get something put in there. We have. I was watching. Actually, more listening than watching. Nicole Sauce show yesterday, and she was talking about her rental properties, and I thought, well, yeah, I got rental properties. I have one that's rented, and I have some that's still under development, if you could say that. And it got me to thinking of how I could speed some things up. But the problem is I don't have people. I need people. I need minions. Somebody told me one time, you need minions. I'm like, yes, I need minions. So I've got to get it emptied out. The basement here, the bunker, is what I call it a lot of times, where I record these and work on them and do my notary work and record keeping and stuff. It's nothing's changed down here either. I haven't decided. So Friday's supposed to be my 100th broadcast. And I've kind of touched on it a little bit, and I've not had anybody say yay, boo, or KMA. So I don't think I'll be making a big deal out of it. 104 is a year. So in 2 weeks, I've been broadcasting a year. And I've got, obviously I have a few of you guys that are followers, and some of you guys listen on the podcasts. I wish you would say hello more, because it's kind of like I see the numbers, but I don't see your faces. I don't, I can't relate. Now, of course, on the podcast, you won't, I can't see your face, but you can tell me your name. There's several folks out over on Fountain that used to comment regularly that I haven't heard from in a long time. And maybe that's my fault. Maybe I need to do something different. And if I do, share that with me. But I said all that because I'm still considering maybe cutting back to one live a week, and just focus on making videos. I mean, like, the how-tos and the whatnots kind of videos. I don't know. I don't do well with videos because I don't do well setting them up, and I get started on something and think, shoot, I should have recorded that. And the things going on in my life make it so hectic that to try to plan. I had just a couple sentence conversation with somebody on, actually it was Letty, and the conversation was on Noster. It was a note on Noster, and she had commented that Two-Man Tim had inspired her to make her plans for 2024. Where does she see herself in December of 2024? And to get people started thinking ahead. And that's not bad. I'm not saying anything about that. And I told her, I said, shoot, I can't even plan for 2023 December, much less 2024. And I mean, I know she understands. I'm not saying I can't do something. I'm saying I don't know how. And there's a difference. Can't, never could do anything. Not knowing how can be resolved. So I'm not juggling things very well. And every now and again, I drop something. I dropped something the other day that's kind of important to the church. I needed to make a follow-up phone call. I had it on my schedule. I got interrupted by something fairly significant. I mean, it wasn't trivial, like, oh, I want to get my toes painted or anything. And I didn't get the phone call made, and now I can't get a hold of the person. They're not responding back to me. They might have by now. I sent another note to them this morning. Oh, crap. See, and this is my speaker for tomorrow at the church just canceled on me. My apologies in circumstances. I'm not going to be able to make it to this week's Lunch and Learn. It's a lady from AARP. Now I got to punt. Well, I mean, I don't think it's something that she is in. Let me put it this way. Let me put it in the positive. Let me turn it around a little bit. I know she's sincere in what her situation is. Oh. Now what am I going to do? It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. I had a situation over the weekend where I was asked about somebody renting our fellowship hall is available for rent. And right now, all of that falls on me. So someone reached out to me and said, the baby's birthday party is on Sunday, but now this person's reaching out to me on Saturday afternoon, but I see that it's supposed to rain and we were going to have it outside. Can we rent the church building? And I said, it is available for rent, but I don't have time to move everything between now and tomorrow. I wasn't going to do it on a Sunday anyway. Anyway, I had to think about it for a long time before I wrote that. And I thought, you're in the middle. You'd have to stop what you're doing here. You got work you got to do here, and go and move all the tables, move all the AV, move the coffee pot, move everything out. And then, be there for them to let them in. Ideally, I would have to stay, because you really should stay when you have people who aren't members of your church in your building. You need to have someone there. And then that's just good. That's just good practice there. And then, I'd have to set all that stuff back up. And I just told the person, I said, if you had asked me about it and said, can we use the church as a backup, and given me more time, I could have done it. But I don't have the time. Well, the person asked, well, how about if we move the stuff? Now you're getting into liabilities. If I had said, okay, yeah, that's fine, and they had dropped the computer or the projector, maybe they tell somebody, maybe they don't. Maybe they don't move everything and the kids get into it. Or dropped something on them, hurt themselves. Now, see, you're in liabilities, and people don't think about that very much. And they think, oh, it's not a big deal. But this is not a member of the church. So a member of the church has to be there. And you think, well, why? Well, liability. You have a response. If you are acting that way as a trustee or a person in maintenance or whatever for your church, you have a responsibility to the church taken care of. You don't just let any old person in and, walk away. So I wasn't going there. If somebody gets hurt and they make a claim on your insurance, well, their insurance is going to pay it. People just don't think about that. And I'm not, I wasn't trying to be snarky or hateful, or I hope I worded my concerns properly and kindly to her. But I just said, no, I'm sorry. I just don't have time to do it. And, the person that contacted me, I know, not real well, but I know well enough. She's not a pleasant person. Anyway, she's a very demanding person. And it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. So, oh, hey, my channel. Good to see you. Okay. I don't think it's going to be used very much. The thing that kills me with it is you have to tip it upside the sink part upside down to empty the liquid soap, because you put the soap in where the pump is, and there's no way to drain it, or at least I didn't see one. But anyway, glad to see you. Glad to have you catching up. Don't worry about trying to catch up. It's okay, because I just ramble most of the time anyway. But it's okay to say no. And a friend, I think I mentioned to you guys last week that I had asked a friend of ours if they could help me with with emptying some of these properties. And I got a long range of excuses. And I just looked at them and said, it's okay just to say no. So I was taking my own advice there with the rental of the fellowship hall. And for some of you guys, you may not know, our church is in a period of change, and we have an exceptionally small congregation. We have very generous members who can't come to church for a couple of different reasons. One of them moved, and another one has a spouse who has an issue, medical condition that keeps them from being allowed to be by themselves. And so, but they do tithe. And they send those in regularly. And that, along with those who are there week to week, I'm getting so ahead of myself because I'm talking about church stuff as much later. But we're keeping our head afloat right now as we try to regrow the church. And so what it ends up being is, Robin, you can do that. We don't know how. You can do that. We don't want to. You can do that. So I'm it. And for the time being, I mean, I believe the Lord's going to grow the church. That's my belief. But in the meantime, it's on me. So it's not like I could turn it over to somebody else and say, hey, can you go over there and stay? But the friend never did. The friend that I was asking about cutting the grass never did say no. And I kept saying, it's okay just to say no, because we don't owe people explanations. We tend to give explanations, and sometimes we demand explanations, but we're not owed, nor do we owe an explanation. We can say yes, period, complete sentence, or we can say no, period. And so I was taking my own advice with that, and I said, no, I can't do it. But I mean, I didn't elaborate and say, here I've got sweat under every part of my body. I've got mud on my feet. I've been out in the yard working. My hair's up and it's all greasy and sweaty from working out in the yard. I cannot stop what I'm doing to go move stuff for the church just for I hate to say some kid, but some kid's birthday, because it's important to that parent. I get it. I had children. I know. But at the last minute like that, no, I couldn't do it. And I was so close to saying some not foul, but really rude things like, how about your mother's church? Why don't you go move stuff over there? But I didn't say it because that wouldn't be nice. And I try to be nice and polite. My channel says at 24 minimum, stubborn weight that won't come at 24. At 24 minutes. Okay. That's not it. My channel, no, I don't have, I had a hysterectomy years ago, and I had an ovumectomy a couple years back. So I don't have the parts anymore, and I'm not playing the game to try to, take these hormones, because I don't know where they would need to be. And I absolutely do not want to be a slave to hormones anymore. I'm so over it. But it's okay. It's all right. It'll be just fine. So I've said, but to come back around, I'm going to I need to decide on whether I'm going to do one video or two. I'm kind of leaning towards one, just on Tuesdays. Friday, as a matter of fact, this Friday, Mr. Holstein may have a dentist appointment. I don't know. He's got a tooth bothering him that should have been crowned a long time ago, and he didn't do that, and he's thinking he wants it pulled. It hurts him pretty bad. Or he's got TMJ. I have TMJ, and he has similar symptoms to TMJ. But if he's clenching his teeth, he's not grinding them. But he said his jaw was sore and his tooth hurt, and it sounds to me like it's TMJ. But it could be it wasn't an abscess tooth 2 weeks ago when he went to the dentist. The dentist couldn't find anything wrong. So he x-rayed him again. We just had cleanings right after the 4th of July, the week of 4th of July. When was that? That was, I think it was the 7th we had cleanings. And we both had the same tooth that was bothering us. And mine kind of quit. But both of us, the doctor x-rayed and looked and, scratched with that little thingy, and he didn't find anything at all. So Fridays sometimes seems to be harder to pull off because people want stuff. People want stuff, and they want it on Fridays. But here before, I've been rambling so long, I haven't gotten to most of my. Here's what I want to share, and I think I can only share 30 seconds. This is a song from 1977. Okay, the band Brick did it, and it's a jazzy disco. It's so much fun. There is a person who is a member of Toolman Tim's Telegram group, and I won't pronounce it right, but his profile is Yowzik, YOZK, Y-O. Let me see if I can find him real quick because he's usually on here. Where's his darn it, I don't see it. I was trying to find it real quick. Y-O-Z-I-K, I think it is. And let me see if I can do it this way. No, it won't come up. I was going to try to tag him and see if it make it come up. But anyway, its name, I think it's pronounced Yowzik. But I always heard it in my head before I heard Tim actually say the name. Yuzik is what I thought it was. And it reminded me of this song that I'm going to play. And it's taken me forever to find it. Oh, wait, let me see if I can share this. Share screen. Do. I hope it wasn't too long because YouTube gets upset. Yeah, I hope you heard it. What I'm gonna do here. Let me grab the link over here, and I'm gonna drop the link in. And if you get a chance, go listen to it. I love this song. It's just a poppin', hoppin', fun song, and you'll chair dance all day. So it's really fun. I don't know if you got to hear it. I hope it did. But that's what I was listening to when I first come on. And it's like a 5-minute and something song. It's absolutely fun. I love it. I love it. Let's see how much I'm at 57 minutes. I really hate to go over. But I'll try to run through these things. The outside garden is pretty much done. I mean, I've got a few little tomatoes hanging around, but I got to dump all that into compost and get that taken care of. I do my pepper plants, my green pepper plants. I've never gotten a one green pepper off of it because the groundhog was getting them. I set them up to get them out of my way to do something else, and they're still trying to grow a pepper. So I may put them in that little greenhouse I've got. I think I can lift one of the shelves off and give, because they're kind of tall. I'm going to try to do that and see if I can hang on to them long enough to get a couple decent sized peppers off of them. I need to get the celery scraps in the dirt. I mean, in the water, and get some roots started and get those in dirt and see if I can keep them for a while in the little greenhouse. And I got to get my ferns, my strawberries in pretty soon. We'll have our frost date is like the middle of October or so. I looked that up one time now. I can't remember. So it won't hurt the strawberries for the frost. As a matter of fact, it'd be pretty good for them. But I don't have anywhere to put them. If I bring the ferns and the strawberry plants in. My fern last year barely made it. It's got a couple little tiny. I mean, it was gigantic last year, but now it's just only because it pretty much died last year. It probably needs repotted too because all the dead stuff that's in it. But I don't have time for all that. The ducks and the chickens. I did want to share that we have had a Lion King type overthrow of leadership in the ducks. There is a definite alpha duck out there, and he apparently, when I wasn't looking in the past week, beat up Daddy Duck. Daddy Duck now runs from the babies, so they're not babies anymore. Alpha Duck, so it's like 3 alpha male ducks out there, but the 2 young ones have beat up their daddy, and he runs from them now. He has spent all summer chasing them back into the run and into the coop, and now, just in the past week, they have really switched places. The older females are staying back away from everybody. So I'm pretty sure now that we'll be taking the young drakes out. I think I'm just going to take the drakes out, even though I'd love to raise some more. I think I'm just going to take all 3 of them out when we do it. and just be done with it and not have to worry about it, because they're aggressive, and I want the girls to have just a calm, just lay egg every day like a chicken does life. we had roosters when we first started, because when you go to Tractor Supply and get chickens and they tell you, oh yeah, they're all girls. No, no. So we ended up with 2 roosters, and they fought like roosters do, and I don't like that. And it's just an energy I don't need. If I'm not going to raise chicks, I don't want a rooster. Plus, it spurred me. It spurred me, and it took a while for that spur place to heal. I mean, it's a puncture wound, so. So I have shared just about everything. I was talking about the well, I didn't say Bible study, but we're studying the book of Revelation. We're on chapter 12 this week. The Lunch and Learn apparently is canceled. We're canceled. I hate that. Oh, is that still up there? No, get off there. I didn't mean to leave that up. Or see, I don't have anybody to clue me. Hey, do this. The Lunch and Learn is apparently canceled. I'll reply to her in just a minute. And we're doing a clothing giveaway on the 9th of October. That's still a go. That is still a go. Now, what I was hoping to find out today was if we're going to do the emergency food bags. So she hasn't answered me on that yet. She answered part of it, but she didn't answer all of it. We were going to try to put, well, we weren't going to do it. It was Heart and Hands that was going to do it. They do a food bag thing for the kids. I say kids, middle school, high school kids. And I think the church is going to do a hot dog sale. I think we can pull off a hot dog sale. I think we have enough interest that we can do the hot dog sale. We can sell a couple hundred hot dogs, drag in a couple $100, right? I mean, how much do you pay for church hot dogs? Would you give $2 for one church lady hot dog? I'll get who does the church lady on Saturday Night Live? I forget. Anyway, I'll get me a little, of course, that's a Catholic church lady. Sister, I don't know who. The church lady. And we'll do a little costume party there. But we are going to do the clothing giveaway. I've got a flyer ready to go. See, I have to do all that stuff. I'm trying to drag people by the hair of the head into the church. No, not really. But I am trying to help grow the church. And I do have some help. And we have had a little bit of increase in some activities. We've had a couple ladies come to Bible study who hadn't been coming. And they came twice in a row. They live in town. But when I talked about hot dog sale, one of them said, oh, I'd love to help with one. And I'm like, yes, thank you, God. I mean, I appreciate the little stuff. It is so easy. Let me get on my horse here. It is, Betty, what's the matter with you? Betty acts like she don't feel good. It's so easy to look at the negative in life. And I don't want to cause your eyes to roll in the back of your head, but it's easy to be negative. It really is. It's hard to be positive. It's hard to get an email like, my apologies, but due to unforeseen circumstances, I'm not going to be there tomorrow. But I can look at it and say she didn't wait till the last minute. I've got time to get somebody in there, or I've got time to cancel it. Maybe I just need to cancel it because I need a break, and that's okay. I'll ask her if she wants to reschedule. Actually, I thought somebody else was doing it. I thought it was a guy that was going to do it. And so I get the email from the person who I was supposed to call. And so we're gonna connect. I don't want to say hook up because we're gonna connect about noon. So sorry, but it's easy now. I've gotten a response back from him. There's a project that we're going to work on with our local extension office that that hopefully will be once a month. That'll be another break for me because we won't have the daytime lunch and learn. We'll have the project in the evening, and we'll adjust this and we'll create something and we'll help the community, and hopefully the community will respond positively. But it's easy to look and throw your hands up and say, this is too hard. I don't want to do it. Oh, why do you want to come in here and spam? Block and delete. So I've got a spammer in here trying to block user, delete comment. There, I think we're better. But I mean, it is hard. It is hard. I have had some really terrible things happen to me in my lifetime, but I have been able to get past that but it takes work. It really does. And you just gotta keep pushing, and it's not easy. So I was able. Iodine is not a hormone; it's a necessary nutrient for endocrine system function correctly. But I'm not iodine deficient. I'm not iodine deficient. I have plenty of iodine. That's not it. That's not it. I don't want to get into a discussion of my personal health. Not like that. It's just I understand I know what's going on. I know exactly what's going on. That's not that. But it's very difficult to stay positive. When my son committed suicide, I spent weeks in a dark, funky place in my head, and I'd retreat to the corner of my couch and just sit there, and just stare. It took weeks for me to get past that. But without getting too preachy, I found, I came back to Christ and I said, you got to help me. You got to help me. And he did. And I believe he did. And I lived to serve him. And, that's that. I would welcome you, but I can't force you. These aren't the dark ages where they went around. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. We don't go around beating people in the head and saying you're going to be a Christian or you're going to die. We don't do that. We don't do that. And that was wrong. And if you read the words of Christ, that's wrong. But anyway, I'm not going to get preachy on that. I know it can be difficult to see good things when bad things are happening all around you, but it's part of life, and we have to work. We have to work at everything. If you're willing, if you have to work to keep your health up, even when you have, problems. If you got strep throat or you got the flu or whatever, you work through it. It's the same thing with being a positive person and being a negative person. You have to work on it. And I work on it with scripture, and I work on it with my prayer life, and I work on it, with Christ. With him, all things are possible. And it's true. It's true. But that's enough for now, kids. I've been a little over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes by the time I get it all shut down. I know there's a delay. So those of you who are seeing this, I'm going to try to give you, 20 seconds here, and I'm going to say, have a great week. Make it a great week. You can. It doesn't have to be a bad week. You can have a lot of stumbles that you get over, and you might fall down and break something, but you'll heal. It'll be okay. So that's it for now, kids. And thank you for stopping by, and thank you for your comments. My channel, I know who you are. I know you don't want your name used, so we won't do that. But I appreciate you guys, and we'll be back. And if you got this far, hit like and subscribe if you're not. And we'll see you on Friday, I hope, if he's not at the dentist. Just look for a message. If you subscribe, some way, somehow, you'll get a message about the next episode. So we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks a lot for being here. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye.
Welcome, everyone, to the Holstein House podcast. So,
That-
there you have it. Post your comments, do all that posting, liking, sharing, thumbs up, and stuff that helps spread the word and poke the algorithms. Follow me on most of the big social media platforms and look for my name, Robin Holstein, or Holstein House. Till next time, bye-bye.